Life inside the world's largest cruise ships ever built. Inside the biggest cruise ships ever built in the world. This cruise ship costs more than $1.5 billion and is unlike anything we've ever seen. It's longer than 3.3 football fields, taller than an 18-story building, and can hold more than 9,000 people at once. It's a city that floats on water and has everything you can think of, but only a few people really understand how it works. It takes a long time to plan, build, and send a ship like this one. A wonder like this can take anywhere from 12 to 18 months to build. Cruise ships of today are like mobile cities, and it takes a lot of planning, work, and time to build them. Consider it. Each cruise ship has a huge number of different features, from large water parks to a lot of high-end restaurants. You need time and careful planning to make all of this. Each cruise ship is made in a shipyard. Placing the order is the first step in building a cruise ship. The cruise line's owner puts in the order for the ship. The design of the ship will have been accepted before the order is placed 0100. Before the ship is put together like a jigsaw piece, it is built in stages, often in different places. The ship is put together piece by piece. That includes the rooms and the steel plates that make up the ship. When building a ship this big, there are often up to 500 companies and suppliers involved. It takes more than 1.5 million man-hours to build a ship this big. The outside of the ship takes about 6 months to build, and then it is filled with passenger rooms, restaurants, bathrooms, and hundreds of miles of electrical lines and plumbing pipes. In addition to all the comforts, a cruise ship needs a strong engine. In some cases, a cruise ship can have 5 or 6 engines, all of which fit into one room called the engine room. The crankshaft and gears of a diesel ship are the most common type of engine. These go on a ship's propeller, which moves the ship forward. Cruise ships have huge engines. The bigger the ship, the more electricity, 0200 power it needs. The engines on the biggest cruise ships can be up to 20 feet tall. The 3 engines on each ship help them move through the water. These big blades can turn at a rate of 250 times per minute, which lets the ship go fast. Today, there are many different kinds of cruise ships, each with its own size and number of passengers. For example, the Wonder of the Seas, which is thought to be the biggest cruise ship in operation, is 1,187 feet long and can hold up to 6,988 people. The Icon of the Sea, a cruise ship that hasn't started sailing yet, is 1,198 feet tall and can hold more than 7,600 guests, or almost 10,000 people with a crew. Some of the biggest cruise ships in the world today cost more than $1 billion to build. For example, the 1,187-foot-long Allure of the Sea cruise ship, which was the largest passenger ship when it debuted in 2009, cost about $1.4 billion to build, including all of the comforts that were put on board. This cruise ship has a dance hall with 2 floors, an ice skating rink, 25 different dining choices, and a theater with 1,380 seats. All of this and more was done for the shocking price of $1.4 billion. This cruise ship isn't the only one to cost this much. But even though it costs a lot to build such a beauty, it doesn't come cheap to travel on one. You can bet that it will cost a lot when you have all these amenities and a cruise through some of the most beautiful places in the world. A cruise is definitely a luxurious thing to do. Some of the most expensive trips in the world come with free drinks, caviar, and even helicopter rides. How much does it cost, though? Well, the price of a cruise ship ticket can range from $25,000 to over $1 million, based on the cruise, the ship, and the amenities that come with it. The Seven Seas Explorer, which cost about $1.3 million, is the most expensive trip. The trip took 123 days and had 41 ports in 11 countries. On average, about 9,398 steps were taken each day. The trip also included 5 nights in high-end hotels in places like Sydney, Tokyo, and Hong Kong, as well as special tours of those cities. Even though not all cruises cost $1 million, it's safe to say that for what they give, the price will always be quite high, but the experience will be like nothing you've ever had before. There are a lot of really big cruise ships in the world, and while their size fascinates us all, one has been named the biggest of them all. And that's the Icon of the Seas. As the name suggests, this cruise ship is definitely famous. It has the biggest water park at sea and has already finished its first round of sea trials and gone out on the open ocean for the first time. This is the newest ship from Royal Caribbean International. It will make its first trip in 2024. The ship is almost 1,200 feet long and can hold 5,610 passengers and 2,350 crew members. But the maximum number of people who can be on it at once is said to be over 7,960. Aside from being heavy and big, the ship has 20 decks with a modern pool, an aqua theater, a swim-up bar with an infinity pool, and huge floor-to-ceiling windows that give travelers a view like no other. The price of a suite on this trip can range from $1,000 to $5,392.